African journalists say their own trade unions, the international community and the African Union need to work more closely with individual governments to promote the safety of reporters on the continent. VOA Africa correspondent Scott Stearns has the story.
The Federation of African Journalists and members of the African Union Commission met in Ethiopia to discuss the dangers of working as a reporter in Africa, particularly in Somalia and the Democratic Republic of Congo. Musa Gassama works with the UN High Commission for Human Rights.
The African Commission on Human and People's Rights has recently expressed concerns on the continuous violations of rights to freedom of expression, access to information on the continent, including arbitrary arrests and detention, prosecution, kidnapping, imprisonment, harassment, intimidation, extrajudicial killings, disappearances, death threats, physical attacks, and suspension of journalists and media protectioners, actual killing of journalists, and unlawful close of newspapers because they hold critical opinion.
The International Federation of Journalists says the African countries that most repress reporters are Eritrea, Somalia, Tunisia, the Democratic Republic of Congo, and Gambia. Jim Bumela is the group's president.
Journalists in Somalia have still the same worry about their safety. The constant fear stands still, and the challenge they face, or something of the challenge they face, I can mention is killing, intimidation, arrest, torture, and in some of the cases expulsion as well.
13 journalists were murdered in Africa last year, 9 of them in Somalia. Somali reporter Mustafa Haji Abdiner says journalists hope the African Union can help push member states to do more to protect the media.
It is very much for the first time in Africa that journalists, their organization, their global organization, human rights organization, advocacy group, lawyers group have come together inside the African Union Commission in order to put on the table the problem that not only kind of the hostile environment journalists had to face in Africa, but also the problem of impunity.
The meeting ended with a declaration calling on African governments to protect and promote the rights of journalists in accordance with national, regional, and international law. African Union Commission Chairman Jean Ping says the alliance will establish a special criminal court to investigate and prosecute those responsible for crimes against journalists. Scott Stearns, VOA News, Dakar.